Hi everybody, this is methlokaiju, and today I'll be doing a Jurassic World video. Today I'll be discussing about a brand new Jurassic World featurette titled A Look Inside by CBR Films. The link to this featurette will be in the description box below. Now, I know there have been already some featurettes of Jurassic World, like 302, I don't know which ones, or excuse me, how many, but I have seen them. But I decided to do a video about this one, since this one seems more like a trailer than an actual featurette. Because the featurette normally shows, the actual cast talking, like an interview kind of style, whatever. And on this one, there's only like, a little bit of footage about the interview, and mostly it's about the movie. So I decided to, go ahead and do a video about this. And also there is also some new footage as well. So let's get started with this featurette. Universal Living there. Okay, now this part I might have to, take out the audio because, it has the Jurassic Park theme. So, but just this scene is about John Hammond talking, and it shows like some context of the movie, such as the Isla Nublar ferry or boat, whatever you want to call it, arriving to the islands, and Mosasaurus eating the shark, and stuff of that sort. So I might have to kind of lower it for now. Here a little bit. And also shows scenes of the train passing by through Jurassic Park as well. Excuse me, Jurassic World. Gallimimus Valley, whatever we want to call it. Cretaceous Cruise. Mosasaurus feeding show. Yeah, that's Steven Spielberg talking. And then right here we see some Ankylosaurus feeding on some grass and bushes and all that stuff. And in the background we can see the gyrosphere. I think this is probably the restricted area, since it's kind of foresty-ish, while in the non-restricted area it's kind of all plain. There's not too many trees, so of that sort. So I think this is the restricted area, honestly.
Just like taking a stroll through the woods.
Just lower. Actually, no, I think it's good.
65 million years ago, Stephen had the idea to make a movie about our relationship with animals.
Then we see this very cool shot of the Velociraptor squad. We see Blue, Delta, Echo, and right to the right we see Charlie, or I suppose it's Charlie just because he looks kind of greenish color. And I suppose the back one, the one in the back, is Echo, since he has some yellow tint to him a little bit. The front one obviously has to be Blue, and who else is there but Delta for the left. They look pretty nice. And then they look up and they see Chris Pratt's, I think that's like a little beeper thing, I'm not really sure what it is. But it looks like it caught the attention of the Raptor squad, and it looks like they're, following him, or if not, they're just paying attention to what he's doing. I think this is probably right after the scene with the newbie trainer coming in and, trying to, tame these raptors, but I guess he fails and he's about to be eaten or something. I'm not really sure, but that's what I think. And then we see this cool shot of a overview, and then we see the Velociraptors there. It looks pretty cool. Which an HD image has already been released of this a very long time ago, but we haven't really seen any footage of it. Then we see some Triceratops, Parasaurolophuses, Stegosauruses, and some Apatosauruses eating some grass, and the gyrosphere in the background. And then we see a flare passing by a goat, which is obviously about to be eaten by the T-Rex. Obviously. And I think that probably the Mosasaurus is the new attraction thing. I think maybe they put T-Rex and then started lowering, and so they decided to put Mosasaurus in, which then spiked, but then it dropped, so they thought of then doing Indominus Rex. That's what I think. I mean, it could be the opposite. It could be Mosasaurus, then T-Rex, then Indominus Rex, but I'm not really sure.
Goes down an original road, and it's a breathtaking adventure.
That's pretty cool. And then we see some holograms, which I guess are the stereotype or the cliche of the future time. Yay. Holograms.
Our first genetically modified hybrid.
Just went and made a new dinosaur? Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, definitely not a good idea.
She was designed to be bigger than a T-Rex.
Then we see the scene with the gyrosphere about to be attacked by the Indominus Rex. But Chris Pratt actually talks in this.
When you create an animal for your own amusement, it doesn't go well for the humans.
And he also forgot to mention also for the dinosaurs in the park too, because you know they're also affected too, like the ankylosaurs and the I don't know whatever is about to be attacked. Even the pteranodons, even though those are not even dinosaurs, but whatever. Then we see this very cool other shots of a pteranodon raid. Lower it a tiny bit. Then we see this extended shot, I believe, of the Indominus Rex. You know, passing through the bushes. The Indominus Rex actually looks kind of creepy, actually.
Jurassic Park, I feel there's a responsibility to make sure that you're delivering something that the people who made this franchise would be proud of.
Yes, like Steven Spielberg. Then we see this other shot, which has already been seen, but I'm just gonna do a screenshot or whatever of it. And we see blue, because you can see a blue line right there. But Chris Pratt says this quote,
We're going after it with everything we got.
which means that they're gonna try and do everything to defeat, or actually no, capture it. So that means they're not even trying to kill it, they're trying to capture it. Which I don't know why they would try to capture it if they have, you know, guns, you know, like guns and a helicopter shooting gun and all that stuff. I mean, that's not capturing, that's more like killing it, but, you know, whatever. Maybe Indominus Rex will return for Jurassic World 2 if, you know, they just want to capture it, which I don't know why they want to capture it if it's doing all of this chaos. You know, it could happen again. So why don't you just kill it? Anyways, next we see a shot of the motorcycle scene with the Velociraptors. Then we see the aviary, which we have already seen. And that's where the whole entire chaos of Indominus Rex happens. Then you see this other shot of an ACU soldier desperately, you know, trying to defeat this Indominus Rex. So what he does is that he shoots this net and it ties Indominus Rex's jaw, so he can't really bite, which most likely it's gonna fail since, you know, it's like a wire or a string kind of material. So I think it's gonna easily break it open, or she is gonna easily break it open. And then in this shot we also see a little puncture mark right there. So what is that puncture mark? Maybe it's one of the ankylosaurs, maybe it's one of the pteranodons, maybe it's like the little firing ammo things from the guns. You know, I'm not really sure. It also looks like Indominus Rex has a very long tail. It actually looks like kind of odd. And then we see the demise of a ACU soldier.
My goal with this movie has always been to make adults be able to feel like they're kids again.
And then you see a compilation of used footage or footage that we've already seen. Like, for example, you know, Indominus Rex swallowing a soldier, or what else? I don't know. You know, stuff of that sort. Then we see the stuff from the TV spot where Indominus Rex finds where Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are at. And then used footage. And then it says Jurassic World, June 12th. Now, you could actually watch this movie June 11th, which I've already bought I've already bought the tickets for. So, you know, go ahead. Buy them right now before they get sold out for June 11th at 7 p.m. I believe that's the earliest it can be, or for my area it is. But that's basically all for this video. Please tell in the comment below what are your thoughts on the new footages, as well as you know, yeah, the new footage and overall the featurette. But that's basically all for this video. Subscribe, like, and comment. This is methlokaiju signing out.